What's going on, Dolphins Nation? For those of you that are still with us, I commend you. And then by with us, I mean actually like still alive on this planet. Quite the show we have for you coming up. Probably sharing a lot of the same sentiment as you. I mean, dude, let's face it, like nobody's happy. All right. But we're going to break it down for you. Hopefully, we're a little bit of a mouthpiece for you. We're on the same page with some things. We might have some conflicting reports on here. First things first, I'm going a little alternative. Dolphins are making me go a little alternative here. If Dolphins aren't going to fuck, this guy's going to fuck. Joe Robbie?
And listen, if the Dolphins are going to play like a bitch tonight, we're going to drink like a bitch.
I don't have any cool catchphrase, but to get me through this, I did break out the good stuff. So got that going for me.
And I'm just drinking water because it's fucking boring, just like the fucking offense that we've been running for the past 8 games going back to last year. So,
producer Eric Fire, that was right on. Hey, that was off the hip with it.
Yeah, and somebody has to have their wits together to pull this whole show together. So thank you, Eric. Once again, selfless, doing your job. You're the best.
Yeah, these Arizonas have been sitting in my fridge since before you guys visited because I told my buddy, I said, yo, get the Arizona hard teas, right? Mm-hmm. And this dude gets the hard flavored teas, bro. These things are terrible. So I figured today's a terrible day. It's just a good time to drink a terrible drink.
Yeah. All right, boys.
Right on.
Let's get this shit going.
Here we go.
I'm putting the helmet on as always.
The opportunity is right now.
Terrific defensive play. Intercepted. From the ball off the block. Two on the move. Going deep. Speedways. He's got Hill. He's got Hill. The Dolphins have recaptured the lead.
I got to be honest. The video's now fucked up.
It feels weird. It feels wrong watching that, hearing he's got Hill, watching McDaniel like strut his cock out of the tunnel, like shit doesn't stink. It hits way worse right now.
It feels forced.
It feels weird.
You guys are probably more worried about the offensive line than we are.
All right, boys. It's a shit show. Let's get it started. So first things first, I hope you're all doing well. I know that you're not, but I'm going to say that because that's what we say in a society. I hope you're doing well, and I hope that everyone, can get through their nights without staring at the ceiling. I sure as hell was. First things first, I think the best place to start. Let's start with our gripes with the offense because this team has scored 1 touchdown in the last 8, 9, 10 quarters. I think 10 quarters now. Is it 10 quarters?
I think it was higher. I think it was got up to like 11 and a half or something because we didn't score till the fourth last night. So
hey, somebody pinned that Justin Rhodes comment.
Yeah, there we go. Justin Rhodes, you're more worried about the O-line than we are because Greer has to go. We'll get there. We'll get down.
Don't worry.
It's probably gonna be an hour and a half. So don't worry, we're gonna get down there. Let's start with the offense. Everyone wants to talk about the offense. You have all of the chirping birds that got here in 2020 on Twitter saying, number one offense in the NFL, number one offense in the NFL. They want to keep saying number one offense, number one offense, number one offense. At no point during the season this year so far, with Tua, without Tua, with Huntley, without Huntley, with Skyler, without Skyler, with Tim Boyle, without Tim Boyle, we're anywhere close to a number one offense. What the fuck is going on? I don't know who wants to take that to start, but I just want to get everyone and let's keep it to the Titans game. We already covered the Seattle game.
Yeah.
The Titans
and forward. Titans and forward.
What you guys saw? We'll go one at a time. Joe Robbie, let's start with you. You shaking head. You're wearing a hat of winners.
Well, I had to switch it up this week.
Yeah.
So I needed to feel winning on my head. And it feels good. It does feel good. It doesn't feel that good though. It's almost like ketchup and onions. Now it's kind of fucked up. No, so I actually just watched the game back, which I never do, like ever. But I felt like because I was at the game, I really couldn't get a good feel for it.
God bless him.
Dude,
Don't recommend it.
I got three guys on the offense that I rewound the fucking tape like 10 times. Julian Hill had probably the worst game for a tight end I've ever seen in my life.
Mhm.
Like,
Jesus Christ.
dude, like whiffing on guys, getting blown up, slipping. I don't know if it's McDaniel's scheme is making them move too much pre-snap and they're not thinking and they're just running rampant. But almost every play that got blown up seemed to be like somebody pulling or motioning and trying to block at full speed and not being able to break down and find a defender.
Or
I'll keep it at one guy because we have a lot to
blocker.
talk about. So, Bobby, you go ahead.
Go ahead, Bob.
I mean, I don't know what's wrong with it. I mean, the easiest thing to say, maybe lazy, maybe the truth, is just it's been figured out. Like it was hot and flashy, and they brought out the cheat motion, and took a while for people to catch up. But even the end of last year, it seemed like we got figured out. So the simplest thing to say is that it got figured out. Plus, I will say this, and which I kind of harped on for like 3 weeks now, but no one was ever showing up and stepping in this offense and making it look good. And last night was further proof. I think if anybody had the chance, and even myself, 2 plays in, I was tweeting, Huntley was made for this offense. Here we go. Like it was beautiful. Like the scripted drive was nice, but it just showed. It proved my point. Like Huntley's been here 2 weeks, and that was the product. And he was all over the place. He had happy feet. He wasn't finding open guys because there was open guys. The timing obviously was off. It was hard. The first ball he threw late as hell. He balloon balled it to the end zone. Glad that didn't get intercepted. It should have. The second one, he underthrows Tyreek, burns Snead on the left side, underthrows him. That's another touchdown. That should have been the first touchdown. And then later he overthrows Tyreek, which I didn't even know he had that arm because the first ball scared the shit out of me. Yeah. I thought his max depth was 40 yards, but the third one, he overthrows Tyreek, who burns Snead again. Hey, I will say this. Glad Tyreek got some of his pride back because Snead took it in the playoffs. Tyreek was burning Snead left and right. Just couldn't get him the ball.
And I think that's what he was frustrated about on the sideline. Like, he knew he was cooking.
Mm-hmm.
Like, nobody will ever know what they said, but it had to, he knew he was wide open all game.
Yeah, he was. I mean, the offense as a whole is just, it's let's just call it what it is. It's shit. Like, I don't know how we got here from last year, the 2 years prior, but it's just shit. There's nothing there that's working. And yes, we can go to play calling, which has also, we'll get to it, has also been shit, but nobody's stepping up either. Other teams, quarterbacks go down, other people go down, other players on that side of the ball step up. And it seems like on this team, when you need your best players to step up, none of them want to do it or are capable of doing it or are capable of doing it, for that matter. So it's just the whole thing is just bad. I personally don't know like where we go from here. Like we have finally a mobile quarterback. Like how many RPOs did you guys see yesterday? How many rollouts?
2.
How many triple out?
Dude,
how many options?
We passed the ball down the middle of the field once in the beginning, first down.
And it worked.
Once in the end of the game.
The very first play.
Yeah, it worked. First
play.
throw was a dart that hit. That was perfect. Great. I was
and
like,
then he went to the outside. Then he went to the outside.
Yeah,
like
we're gonna spread the offense and attack the middle of the seams again. And then we went away from it, and then we didn't call it again until the fourth quarter when Waddle decided to drop the ball because he heard footsteps. It's pretty frustrating. Ghost, how about what do you think, dude?
I'll start with the good. I'll start with the good.
Moving on to the bad.
I'll start with the good. There were some guys, throughout the game that you saw give up and just kind of look dejected. And I mean, how can't you? How can't you look dejected in a game like that? And you get the motivation ripped from you to step on the field. But there's a few guys on there. Like I said, Tyreek played a good game, minus the one drop. Guy was open all day, hooking L'Jarius Sneed all night. Okay. And I know that he had that drop and it was a fumble. There were, lack of effort jumping on the ball. And of course, that play stands out. But the guy played his ass off all night and he was open all night. I'd be fucking pissed off too. Number 2, Patrick Paul played a good game. I think he played hard. He played every single snap. First of all, the offensive line, everyone in the offensive line played 100% of snaps today, by the way, or last night, I should say. I think that's like the first time that we had a full offensive line 100% of the time. I can't count how many games. And, the defensive side of the ball, Jalen Ramsey had another fantastic showing. The guy is leading from the front. He's leading by example. And I got to give those guys props where it counts. Jalen Ramsey played his balls off. Like he did last year.
Jordan Brooks.
And
Ramsey
Jordan
and Brooks.
And Jordan
Brooks
Brooks
was everywhere. And Campbell. Somebody actually put a good list up.
Yeah, it's a solid.
Yeah, it's a solid list.
There you
But
go.
you know who played really freaking bad? Like really, really, really bad to a point where I rewound the tape like 100 times to watch how bad he was. Anthony Walker Jr. Like lost in the sauce, afraid of contact, always picking the wrong side of the field, lost in coverage. He had maybe 2 or 3 decent plays. But dude, there was like that play that Agba had a face mask call when he caught Buddy on the sideline.
Yep.
Walker was supposed to be there, bro. He was on the other side of the field. Like he would like make sure he was blocked and sealed. It was weird, man. I don't know what. Maybe he was his first game back, right? Like,
well, Anthony Walker, he was down on the depth chart, and obviously David Long Jr. is going to be a starter there. Jordan Brooks, David Long Jr. They were going to be our starters. Don't worry, we'll get to that a little bit later. You can take that one down. I'll be happy to discuss.
We'll get to defense in a bit. Yeah,
we'll get to defense in a bit. So from the offensive side, I got to give the bad here. Mike McDaniel's offense schemes guys open. The quarterback needs to be comfortable throwing the football to nobody. When you grow up playing quarterback from Pee Wee football to high school to college to the NFL, you don't play football that way. This is a highly specific offense where you are throwing the ball before you see anybody. And it's going against nearly every single instinct that probably any quarterback growing up, going through college, going through high school, even in NFL offenses, goes against what they have learned. It's a very, very specific offense. And Scott, you saw with Skylar Thompson. He knows the play is going to be there. You saw Skylar Thompson looking directly.
The only thing I would disagree, Ghost, is I feel like great quarterbacks throw guys open.
Sure. No,
that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. But
we're talking about like backup quarterbacks and just like a professional quarterback. And when I say professional quarterback, not the starting 32.
I'm gonna get my painting so I can finish it.
Okay. So
hi, Jenna.
Hey, Jenna.
Wifey's in the back.
So anyway, like for example, you see Skylar Thompson. He knows the play is right there in front of him on the deep dig route, 15 yards downfield. You can see him staring at where he's supposed to throw the ball. Double clutch. Tyler Huntley staring exactly where he needs to throw. I watched the tape back. Staring exactly where he needs to throw the ball, where Tyreek is going to be open. Double clutches, looks the other way. Like,
speaking of that, he did it. That underthrow to the end zone in the double coverage, which if he would have thrown to the back pylon's a touchdown.
Right.
He's
He was
looking
late.
in that direction.
He was late, bro.
He was late, but in that same tunnel that he's looking at, Achane is standing there with nobody in any, like nowhere near him. If he just hits him, he moonwalks into the end zone.
So this is I want to bring this point up because I hadn't finished my point. I was getting to this is exactly where I was going with this. You don't have Tua Tagovailoa. And when I retweeted Mike McDaniel saying that he wasn't going to make any changes to the offensive game plan,
it was true.
I laughed because I said, there's no fucking way that this guy literally said this, and this is what they practiced all week, and they're just going to try to run Tua's offense with Tyler Huntley. Okay? And I'm like, I'm going to choose to believe this is some media chess because that's what coaches do. Like when the coaches talk to the media about game planning, who's injured, who's not injured, how their injury is doing, it's completely vague. Usually you want to mislead the other team. The NFL rules, you could do it so much. But this guy didn't. He wasn't lying. He wasn't lying. And this is the same coach, Mike McDaniel, 2012, or whenever it was, whenever RG3 was in Washington, he was the offensive assistant RG3 was a backup for the Ravens with the same coaching staff now that coached Tyler Huntley to a win in 2023. They have the same offense. He had the capability. He had the know-how. He was in a system where he could make all I wanted to see from Mike McDaniel was make a 1-week install. Guys, this is what we're going to do this week with the personnel that we have. That's what a coach does. And we haven't seen that in December last year. We didn't see any changes, and we're not seeing it again. And we didn't see any changes in 2022 when Tua went down the first time and Skyler had to take over, and Skyler's playing in the Buffalo game, Skyler's playing in the Vikings game. We didn't see any of that. There was no changes. This guy's the biggest issue with Mike McDaniel right now, which I think is a good transition here, is he's very stubborn. And we thought Brian Flores was a stubborn coach, and I don't want to drop that name in here because that's a whole different road we could go down. Mike McDaniel is stuck on his system working, and he's not being a coach right now. He's not taking care of his coaching responsibilities of building a game plan and leading these guys into battle with a plan that they can win with. You're trying to cook,
dude.
You're trying to cook flame and yarn with like hot dogs. Like, you can't do that.
But dude, you got 2 tight ends in, and you're running the ball to the outside. You're asking tight ends to track down DBs and linebackers after sprinting in motion.
Hell, they're
And
asking
even asking 2 receivers like Reek and fucking Waddle to block on this. Like, that's not what they're here for, dude.
Oh, and Barrios too. Don't forget the Barrios blocking out in space. You know,
the horizontal approach that Mike McDaniel has implemented. This is new this season, by the way. This horizontal offense, I don't know where the fuck it came from, but this is since week 1. Like, we haven't seen the offense from the Chargers game last year, week 1 to week 18. We haven't seen anything that they ran last year. We saw a couple of those deep dig routes with the rail, the 15-yard in, and then the seam route.
The bread and butter.
We saw a couple of those. But he's going, you know what this reminds me of? Mario Cristobal's offense in Oregon. Completely horizontal, Justin Herbert in college running a horizontal offense. Why the fuck are we running horizontally on a 4th and 1 on a reverse?
Oh, I can answer that.
Go ahead.
It's because the offensive line that we've built, which we got to talk on. I know they all played a game, and I mean, God bless them. Hats off to them. They made it through an entire game. Like, well done, lads. Well done. But there's no faith in the offensive line. So we have to take a fast offense to getting the ball out to being even faster now, because our offensive line is much worse than it was last year. Brewer's been good. The ghost of Teron Armstead, whenever he's in, he's good. But outside of that, we got significantly worse. Rob Jones, give me a break, buddy. Liam Eichenberg was more on the floor last night than he was blocking somebody. So there's no way we're going like forward. It has to be sideways. That 4th and 1, the abomination to Tyreek Hill on the sweep. Patrick Paul, who some people liked, and I mean, every GM on Twitter.
He was lost in the sauce. He's not getting to that linebacker, though, dude.
Every one of us.
He's not getting there.
Never getting there. If you watch that playback,
it's a bad scheme.
If he reaches the second level and blocks that linebacker, Tyreek has one man to beat, and he's housing it. But he can't get there. No, I know. But like, you draft this guy because he's big and athletic, and you ask him to do what he can do, and he can't do it. So that's why we're going horizontal instead of
Bobby,
vertical.
You're quiet over there, dog. What are you thinking about?
Bobby's just brewing, sipping on that good bourbon.
No, I mean, y'all are all letting it rip. So I'm just like,
go ahead, Bobby.
Honestly, I've been for 10 minutes. I've been sitting here since Go started his point, thinking about all the dressing this offense calls for, like the hand fakes and even like him saying like quarterbacks are so uncomfortable with what this offense asks of you. Even the hand fakes and all the hand dressing they ask of you that Tua makes look easy. Now I realize so many hand fakes, hand dressing, and turning your back to the defense to then turn it around and throw a ball based off where a guy's going to be. It's a lot. It's a lot to ask of a guy, and especially a guy that hasn't done that. It's breaking a lot of muscle memory. It's a lot of trust, and especially when you're getting your shot and you're not trying to mess up. So much is in your brain trying to stop you. So,
Anthony, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, with Snoop out there, I'd like to see a little bit more of a spread offense, man. Like, he's starting next week. Give me some spread offense. Let him dissect the defense. Let him use his legs to have these DBs sucking in. Then once he uses his legs, he can extend plays. I mean, he really didn't use his legs enough yesterday. I feel like he was nervous, maybe, which is understandable, right? And by the way, we got you on a hat. DM me. Man, I lost my train of thought. It's very frustrating, boys.
Snoop not using his legs.
It's just
Snoop
like,
not using his legs, which he didn't. I think he.
And when he did, he cooked, bro.
He picked up some. He had some good plays
The
with his
leading
legs.
rusher. He's our leading rusher yesterday. Snoop was our leading rusher, and
I wish we had the stat of how many runs inside did we have. I wish we had the stat for that.
I don't know, but we against Seattle, who has a much better run defense, and they were out Simmons. The Titans were out Simmons. The Seattle has a very good run defense, and we opened up gaping holes with 8 in the box. And I just don't know why they don't stick with this. I don't know where is Frank? Where's Bevel? Like, are they not allowed to talk to Mike McDaniel? Because, dude, Frank, I feel like, dude, he has a great grasp on the game. Darrell Bevel has called plays at the national level, in the league. Like, these are
that's
two
the
guys.
move that's coming.
These are two guys who could be hired in an offense right now as an offensive coordinator.
And I'd like to see Jalen Wright get some early touches.
And I'd like Jalen Wright, he had some momentum. He had a couple, gashes, and then they just take him out of the game. And
Hey, go ahead, my bad.
Yeah, it's just McDaniel's issue here. And I could go down a huge route. Like, for example, like you have your backup quarterback in that's been here for 2 weeks. You're going to try running all of your pre-snap motion, and you're fucking surprised that you get 12 illegal procedure penalties. That is all on the cadence from when that quarterback starts that cadence. It is timed. It's not like like red. Like, it is literally time. He's snapping the ball at the wrong time. He's getting the ball too quickly. The receivers are in the wrong place. They're turning upfield. You got 2 guys moving at once. Tyler Huntley isn't watching for his guys to be set before he starts the motion. You need to fucking dumb this offense down. And I understand that Mike McDaniel is coming from the place of saying everyone's a professional, and Mike McDaniel gives all of his players the courtesy of, you are a professional in this league, and I'm going to treat you as such. But there's a missing link of him understanding, like, dude, there's still fucking levels to this shit. There is still levels to this stuff. And you need to game plan for a lot of these players. And, like, you can't be surprised. So the illegal, I know that I was getting on, like, discipline and stuff with Mike McDaniel on Twitter, saying, like, at what point does the good guy routine, I'm going to be your friend, I'm going to be your players coach, Julian Hill gets to stay in the game after 4 straight penalties against Seattle. Like, at what point does that affect accountability and responsibility on the team? And now it's at the point where McDaniel, you can't have 12 points of failure pre-snap and then be surprised when you have a failure. You need to dumb down those points of failure to maybe 1 or 2 instead of, like, because think about it. Sometimes there's like 6, 7 points of failure. There's 2 formation shifts when they come out of the huddle, 2 formation shifts. There'll be a third with a motion. That's another one. Another guy. They switch on line, off the line. Then there's going to be a cheat motion. Dude, those are all points of failure. That's not like a standard procedure. Like, those are all, you have to look at each single one of those as a point of failure. And then you add in a guy who's been with the offense for 2 weeks, trying to get his cadence down. Probably, dude, Tyler Huntley has never played in a timing offense like this in his entire life, even though he's a professional. And I think that
Lamar's offense is super dumbed down.
Correct, dude. They used the least. So outside of,
they would run him a lot. Like, he ran a lot when he played for Baltimore. That was Wink, wasn't it? So, or no, that was I forget their OC, but he ran the ball a lot. And, like, again, no RPOs, no options, no rollouts.
It's funny you say that. I went back to 2022 and 2023. Guess who was bottom 5 in the league in pre-snap motion? The Baltimore Ravens. Tyler Huntley threw 3 touchdowns, over 200 yards, and got a win. Okay, and I'm not saying it's like apples to apples, but that's from my perspective. That's my issue with Mike McDaniel, and that's like the best way that I can possibly put it is he's still adding in all of these points of failure that Tua has down pat. He's doing this. He's been doing this for 3 years. Tua's got a down path. He's got his cadence. He's got, chemistry with Aaron Brewer. He's everything. Like he knows where Waddle's going to be when he motions. He knows how quickly Tyreek's going to get from here to here. He has all these points. All these points of failure are irrelevant when Tua's on the field because he knows exactly when to snap the ball, what time, at what point this player is going to be here and here. He knows the different speeds that these players run at. And to not take out all those points of failure for a guy who's been here for 2 weeks, who has no chemistry with this team, that's just inexcusable.
All right, let's keep it moving a little bit here. We got a lot to get to, boys. And then we'll talk about a couple things before we get worse. Let's get was there anything positive that you can take away from that game? Anything maybe we can look to see moving forward? Anything to hang our hats on, or are we just throwing this one away and just praying for the best moving forward?
The defense, dude. Defense is playing lights out. And now I'm going to fucking
one player on defense that ruined our nice streak of not having a touchdown going because Anthony Walker on the Pollard run was
Lost.
the reason why he broke that run.
I understand that.
No, and actually,
And that's what it takes, though. It's one guy.
it was him, and who else was in on that play? And they went after it right away. As soon as they saw homeboy come in the game, guess who was in the game? Who checked in for that play?
Chop Robinson.
Bingo.
But, bro, they just literally, so it's funny because the announcers in the second half go, I don't know why they're not, why the Titans aren't running to their strong side on the right. They're switching to the left because freaking Anthony Walker, they switched Anthony Walker and they kept running at him, dude.
Yep.
And then you had Anthony Walker and Chop on the same side.
As soon as Chop comes
Robinson
in, every
has
team.
a bull rush, and that is
Yep.
it. And
They
you
smell
cannot
it
do
in the
that in
water.
this league, my boy.
Mo Kamara needs to be active next game. We need to have a rotational player that can set an edge. And listen, we could go on the defense now. The issues on defense, Chop Robinson. Everyone knows that I didn't like that pick. I said Chris Greer should be fired for making that pick. That was draft day, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, Chop Robinson's going to be the best. Chop Robinson is going to be the defensive player of the year." Those are fucking.
Bro, I
fun.
had him as Micah Parsons comparison. Not even fucking close, dude.
Bless.
But he's never was. Just because.
Well, hey, hear me out.
Yeah, that was
What
the-
about
yeah,
moving
that
him
was-
to linebacker?
This
It
is
might
what,
be better.
Listen, he should not be playing at edge right now. You need to activate Mo Kamara and have Chop Robinson active as well. Chop Robinson needs to be rushing from the A gap, B gap. He needs to be over center. You need to be moving him around. In the NFL, you cannot just be a guy that wins with speed. His biggest knock coming out of the draft was if Chop doesn't win with speed, the rep is over. And we have seen that over and over because everybody in the NFL is fast. Everybody is quick. These tackles are way quicker than these 18, 19-year-olds playing for fucking Vanderbilt that you're playing at Penn State. That they're going to be car salesmen in about 2 years. Not
And I
there's
seen
anything.
somebody said Storm Duck was solid, but
He
Storm
was.
Duck was not solid.
I think he
Go
was.
back and watch the tape. He was
I'll
not
have to.
solid.
Oh,
You
they
know what?
picked on him
Check
all
the
game.
tape.
Check
I
the
thought
tape,
he
dog.
was.
Bobby,
But all-
Because I'll tell you what, my boy was lost in the sauce too. He was.
He had a
out
good
of
tackle,
the
though.
game. You know,
He
he
had
had
a
a
good
couple.
stick.
He had a couple good plays.
He had a good stick.
He's
a
not
couple
good in
good plays.
zone, dude. He gets lost in zone. He likes to get you up on the line, jack you up on the line. Like he had a nice rub off of DeAndre Hopkins. It ruined the timing on that third down. But like, bro, like he's lost in the zone. I don't know how tired these guys were,
Yeah.
but
It wasn't even that hot.
we
last
got to
night.
run more. We got to run more, man, dude. Like
Bobby.
the linebackers cannot cover in zone. Jordan
I gotta
Brooks can, but at the
Jordan
end of the
Brooks
day,
the
there's
only
two
one.
linebackers in the middle.
I got to hear from Bobby.
Bobby, any positives that you can bless us with before we move on?
The two biggest things that stand out to me was, and it wasn't even that it was all great. Jalen Wright, as the game went on, it was the fourth quarter, and we're down by like 20 at this point. There's nothing to play for.
Yeah.
He's running his ass off. Sometimes he's getting slammed by three guys 10 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He's getting up, chirping at Devondre Sweat. Like, dude, that he was like, I'm playing 60 minutes here. So, like, he kept running hard. He kept going at them boys. And, like, so hats off to Jalen Wright. He really needs more workload. That's your first and second down back.
Yep.
That's your carry. He carries the offense. Like, let him get the 20 carries and let HM be fresh and be the spark plug. Let him be, like he was last year, really. Let him come in. Mostert carried the weight. HN comes in fresh and takes 180 yards for a touchdown. That's what we need to kind of adjust back to. But also on the offense, I got to keep giving Ramsey respect. Ramsey,
Yep.
he's playing like the game 7-7 for 60 minutes.
He is.
Like Ramsey really is like just showing up.
He's a leader.
You'd have no idea we're losing by 20, but the way he's acting. I mean,
He's a leader.
dude, well, he's just consummate pro. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. He don't play. He shows up for 60 minutes and he knows
And
his job. He
Calais,
don't-
bro.
Jalen
Calais-
Ramsey
another
plays.
thing. Vic Fangio said we couldn't use Ogba.
That
Holy
Ogba looked great,
shit.
man.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
He
what-
been-
Ogba's all over the place.
The
The
resurgence
only
of
thing Vic
Emmanuel.
Fangio did good for us in this whole situation was get us a good deal on Ogba because Ogba's been hella good. Super
Yeah.
solid, consistent, edge setter, awesome in the run, and interception between the knees. I'll take it.
That was crazy.
Yeah, Emmanuel Ogba coming off the wire there. You know, Shaq Barrett retires. He comes back to the team. No bad blood, nothing like that. Comes in the best shape of his life, and he's having a great season. I think he's having a good season, especially for the role that he plays. You know, he's not going to be your premier pass rusher, but he's going to play. He's a three down guy. And
This
he's
is a good
played-
point, too.
He's
Chop
played.
can't
Yeah, go ahead.
Chop's not winning a lot one-on-one, so they need to get creative. It's time to use that wrinkle.
I've
It's time
been-
to
Pretty obvious
I've
that
been-
he's not beating a tackle one-on-one.
I've been pounding the fucking table to put Chop over center. That's what he, dude. This, if you go back, because I'm a Penn State fan, if you go back and watch Penn State, this guy rushed over center, A gap, B gap, every single game. Of course, he had he had his edge rushes and whatnot, but dude, he did so much damage rushing A gap, B gap, and like, I don't know what Anthony Weaver. I think he's done a good job this season. I think if again we have Jet syndrome of 2023. If we had any kind of competent quarterback play, we're winning games, but we don't, and that's fine. But the issues are like Chop Robinson is not playing in a position that he can be his best self at right now. And I don't know
Let's
why.
just call it what it is. It was a bad pick from the jump. We picked a fucking edge that can't an edge that can't stop the run, and had no sacks. Pressures
Specialist.
are cool, but if you don't get sacks, I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't
special.
care. Like,
I think they got to move him around. They got to get him over center. He did that in Penn State a ton. Micah Parsons does it, and I know that the comparison to Penn State and all that like that, but him rushing over center, he's got the speed. Like, use this guy's speed where it is most deadly, and it's not most deadly on the edge in the NFL. Nobody cares.
That's
if
the
you have
only
speed.
part of the Parson comparison that actually lines up. Is
Correct.
his ability to line up all over the D line and be a mismatch and use his speed to beat slower people.
He'll beat a
It's
center.
not. Yeah, it's not to line up 40 times and use speed to power 40 times.
He'll beat a center.
Yeah.
All right, Eric. What else we got, buddy?
all right, boys. I mean, do we feel good about that? Everybody's like a little, got
Yeah.
some shit off our chest, or anything else? Any more overview on the game from last night before we move forward on like what we're looking for going into the future? So, anything else from last night that you could take away? Ant, you just rewatched the game. You had 6 seats last night. A little jelly
at the end of the
your
day,
seats
man, it's
not
like-
being there though.
I mean, brother, at the end of the day, it's crazy because like we could just keep going about this game. Like we really could. Like there was so much to talk about in the bad realm of things, right? But kind of beating a dead horse at this point.
Yeah.
Like right now, my eyes are on, all right, I don't even know how we're gonna do it, but we got to figure out how to get to 3-3.
Road to 3-3 starts yesterday.
We got to figure it out, dog. Like we just got to. I don't know how. Wildcat. I don't give a shit, but we got to figure it out.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about how we're
Yeah.
going to get to 3-3. Let's talk about next game.
Where do we go from here, boys? That's the next.
I can't
topic,
say
and then-
easy win anymore. I'm over being.
Yeah,
too
I
aggressive.
agree with
We
you.
are
I'm
the
done with
easy
that.
win.
We're
When
the
you
easy
play
win.
us. We are the easy win. So, Bobby, we got New England coming up on Sunday. Short week. I don't know if you guys didn't hear McDaniel's word salad this afternoon
Nope,
of a
didn't listen.
presser. There were some updates. He said pretty much Jalen Phillips is going to be out on the short week. So, prayers out for JP, who also played his ass off, got hurt, put on a knee brace, came back in. I'll allow it, Joe. Came back in and still played his ass off. Showed a lot of fucking passion out there. So we'll give it, prayers out to JP. Hopefully it's nothing major. OBJ and Cam Smith are going to start practicing this week. So we should get a report from them tomorrow, I believe, because the team was off today. And then nothing on Isaiah Wynn, naturally, still on PUP. He's and I quote, diligently working.
Diligent.
And Chubb, no updates on Chubb. No setbacks though, but coach said he probably won't see him until after the bye week at the earliest. So Bobby, short week, division rival Patriots, not a very good team. We're probably worse if we're being fully honest. Where do we go from here in the short term, quick turnaround next week or this week, Sunday?
I think our first win, I hate to do this, but I got to go back to the Titans game real quick. Because, look, real quick.
Do what you do, baby.
Isn't it our luck that we had a better chance winning against the starting quarterback than the backup quarterback?
That same thing happened with San Francisco.
The Niners. Yeah, the Niners, when Purdy came in and ended up being the legend of Brock Purdy. Of course.
Purdy cooked our ass that game, too.
Yeah, we don't have to get stuck on that. Real quick, shout out to the Bearded Fanatic. Thank you for the donation. We appreciate y'all, man.
And who doesn't love Phillies?
It's good to see you back around too, man. I know you went off grid for a minute. You had some family stuff going on, so good to see you back in the mix.
Yes, sir.
But, I won't get on that too much, but that's just our luck, right? So our first win, and I hope I don't regret saying this, is they said they're sticking with Brissett this week. I think that's a win. That's good news. So that's our first win. I think, Huntley didn't look the best in the scheme, but hey, he got 60 minutes of reps. You can't take that away from him. So I think Huntley gets more comfortable. There was a lot of legal motion and stuff like that at the end, but the plays were starting to work. So I think Huntley takes another step. It's one more week. It's another week of chemistry, yada, yada, yada. But I think the offense finds a little more rhythm. I'm not saying it's going to be fixed. That's kind of where we're at now. We're just going to have to deal with that. But I do think Huntley takes another step forward. And, you're not playing a world beater here. So, show up,
Joe?
All right. So, how's David Long looking?
I don't remember any update from on that one from coach today, unfortunately.
So what scares the shit out of me is we have one linebacker that could stop the run. And they're obviously run dominant. If we don't trust the O-line, run a spread offense, give Snoop the ability to read the field, and if the pocket breaks down, break out of the pocket instead of him having his back towards the pocket and then all of a sudden looking up and there's 5 guys in his face. It's going to be a discipline thing. I think it's going to be a very low-scoring game, and it's going to come down to who makes the mistakes, who gets the turnovers. I really think that's where I'm at right now.
Yeah, and I'll just quickly touch on it. I think it's time for coach to give up the play calling to Bev or Frank, just to get somebody else's perspective on calling a game. I think that could go a long way because obviously, what's going on right now is not working, and if you just keep doing the same thing over and over, we already know it's insanity, and the players are just going to stop responding. So getting someone's fresh perspective to call the plays, I think, could go a long way. I think we can see that this upcoming week, and getting Huntley out of the damn pocket. Just move him, please. We didn't do he's not Peyton Manning. What are we doing? Move the guy. He can move. Let him move. Move him around. I think that's gonna be pretty key here this upcoming week. Ghost, what are your thoughts moving forward?
They have to cut down on that pre-snap motion. You need to run a little bit more of a traditional offense. Just to get rid of, again, I overuse the word, but I think it's a good perspective is that there's, when you're looking at an offense and you're looking at really anything in life, the more points of failure that you put in that are unnecessary, that the higher the chance that play is going to fail, or you're going to have an issue, you're going to have a penalty. We need to get that out of the way. We need to remove penalties from this team fucking quickly.
Oh,
last
so
3
last
weeks,
night.
the last 3, dude, the game. Who knows? The game maybe changes if we don't have that many penalties. There were some big plays that were called back. There were. Yeah, okay. Looking like Adam Gase's twin. Yeah, but we had a lot of bubble screens, so I'm sure that him and Gase would get along with that. But I think you need to remove those points of failure pre-snap. Defense comes out and plays the same way that they are, we'll be fine. Mo Kamara is probably going to be active because Jalen Phillips is not going to go. So I'm really excited to see him play. I hope he gets a lot of the early down reps as well as some of the pass rush attempts. I would like to see Chop Robinson moved around. I would love to keep Ogba on the edge. I would love to keep Mo Kamara on the edge there. So hopefully we see something. We see a little bit of Mo. He looked good in preseason. I think he was drafted way lower than he should have been. Very big dude, sets the edge, tough motherfucker. He should play very well. But again, it's like, I know that these are all winnable games, but like, we're not a winnable team right now. And McDaniel just has to find a way to get us 17 points. Get the defense off the field. Get 17 points. I guarantee if Miami scored 17 points earlier on in this game, Miami probably wins. Even though we lost, like, what was it, 31? I don't even know, this 31-10, something like that, or 31-12. If McDaniel finds a way to get some early points and keep this defense off the field on the bench, get them some rest, and give them some momentum, I think that, you could win really any of these games. So I think getting points, we have to somehow get points early. Move this ball down the field. Watch the tape with Tyler Huntley 500 times, like the way that you did Tua. Show him 500 plays. Show him 500 plays of Tua. I don't give a shit what you have to do. Get him to somehow trust. If you're going to run that same offense, you need to get in Tyler Huntley's head, like, bro, you got to throw this football, whether you see Tyreek or not, because he's going to be there. The plays are there. Again, just like they were with Skyler. Tyreek is running that 15-yard dig route with the seam that's clearing deep. It's wide open. But dude,
didn't McDaniel said that he likes to play to people's strong suits?
That's what he says.
We've never seen that. Tyreek Hill being a lead blocker against a linebacker is not a strong suit. Putting Braxton Berrios out there to seal off an outside linebacker defensive end is not playing to their strengths. So I'm not going to believe anything that McDaniel says anymore until he starts proving it.
And also asking these guys to block for 4 to 5 seconds before before the ball carrier actually gets. Bro, it was all game.
Oh, I know.
Jonnu Smith would be locked up on a guy for 3 seconds, bro. Finally come around the corner and the guy just scales right off. Bro, you can't ask these guys to block for 3-4 seconds on one guy.
We're lucky that we didn't get more holes.
Especially out in space, dude.
The more misdirection you have, the more counters that you have, the more ball fakes that you have, the longer that you have to block. And it's like, again, like you said, you can't expect these guys to hold a block for 3 seconds so you can do like the 3 ball fakes, turn your back to the defense. Here comes an end around. Here comes Tyreek running around the edge. Like, you need to get back to basics. You need to remove those points of failure. And again, that's another point of failure. 3 seconds to get the ball. Another point of failure, going pistol, going shotgun on 4th and 1, 3rd and inches, 3rd and 1 from the goal line.
Oh, and dude, for the love of God, I think I figured out McDaniel. After all of us have been talking,
So did
I have
31
a
other teams, Joe.
Yeah, welcome to the club, bud.
Yeah, we all know.
But I have a revelation. Every play is a home run play. Every play is a home run play. He does not want to chop it all the way down the field. Like, bro, we cannot sustain drives. Like, listen, I get that we missed three big plays at Reek. I get it. But bro, we can't rely on that.
It's football.
Like, we can't rely on 3 big plays to make our entire offense, man.
Yep.
That's just a fact. It would have been nice. But
every run play is designed to be a big hitter run play. My brother, just run a halfback dive. Maybe pull a guard. That's cool.
Yeah, a little power in there.
No counter steps.
Ingold wasn't out there at all either. I feel like he wasn't blocking on anything.
He was hitting, bro. When he was hitting.
It's bizarre.
Bro, they have Julian Hill on the field way too much. We're running 2 tight end sets and Julian Hill's running 50 yards across the field before he even snaps the ball.
Yeah,
I'm done with the Julian Hill experiment. Let's get Durham back in there. Get him his
Durham
PT
looked great, by
back.
the way.
I
made sure to watch because I was like, if I'm gonna shit on Julian, not shitting on him. He had a bad game. People have bad games.
Everybody had a bad game, so it's
you know
fine.
What I'm saying? But that's true. That's back to back of him having really bad games. He looked really bad in the Seahawks too.
Let's get Old Faithful back in there and let him play. Last year, Durham played every snap for a tight end. Let's go back to that. Let him get back in there. It can't be worse. It can't be worse.
We're not asking
great player for this team. He's been a great player for this team for years.
We're not asking for revelation here either, because if anything has worked this year for the offense, it's the inside run. Just straight up, man on a man, go get 8. They average 8 yards against Seattle, like running right up the middle.
And we
and then they just
averaged-
didn't have it.
we ran the ball the least amount of times we did all year against Seattle.
And
We
no
averaged 2 yards
Simmons,
a carry.
dude. No Simmons. Like,
No
what are we
Simmons,
doing,
and
dog?
that fourth down later in the game when McDaniel tried to challenge it, lost the challenge, and then his brilliant play was to run Achane outside. Like,
I don't know, man.
Oh, and then Huntley had a point to the hole he's supposed to hit.
literally pointed, and he didn't
Oh
hit
my
it.
god!
Achane, for as good as he's been, also had a real stinker last night. A real stink. They left. Joe, did you see it on your playback? Like we were texting last night. They left the running backs left a lot out there last night. A lot.
Yep.
A lot.
Every time
They're
they
asking
showed
A-Chain to do things that he shouldn't be doing.
No,
well, the
A-Chain,
blocking
I
stuff,
can't
the
get
blocking
used
stuff
to
is
calling him
insane.
A-Chain. It's so weird.
it's fine. Achane.
All right,
Achane.
boys. Well, let's our mailbag is a little full here, so I think we should spend the last 15 so minutes here hitting the mailbag because everybody's wanting to know what's really good. So give me a second.
do
Let's
it.
pull up
Turn my interface up for Ghost.
There we go.
Oh yeah, it's interface time, boys.
Welcome to the Thunderdome, baby.
This is a good place. This is a good place to start. Why not? So AC Capucini writes, if you could choose any backup quarterback in Miami Dolphins history to have stepped in this season for Tua,
This is
who are
easy.
you choosing?
I mean, I think we can all anonymously just answer this, right?
Just
There's only one, right?
Drop it. I got some.
Unanimously.
Matt Moore.
Gotta be Matt Moore.
Matt Moore.
What you got for us, Bobby?
That was it. Matt
Matt
Moore,
Moore.
baby.
Okay, I just want to make
That
sure.
was
I just want to
easy.
make sure we're on the same page here. Matt
Matt
Moore's going
Moore.
to go and get you a couple dubs.
You know what? You know what? Just to be different, I'll take Ryan Fitzpatrick too. At this point,
Ooh.
Oh,
you got it, dude.
Was he
The
a
guy just
backup?
comes in and wins.
yo,
I mean, I feel like
Fitty
he's
on
more
this team is
starter-
winning
I
us
feel like
games.
He was more starter caliber in my.
Dude, Fitzy was just so fun.
He was a backup. He was a backup.
Fitzy on this
You're
team
right.
is winning us games.
Yeah,
He is.
you're right.
He is.
Also, shout Ryan Fitzpatrick for costing us Joe Burrow, but nonetheless.
Thanks, Ryan.
Anyways,
As we
also not
digress.
great on TV, but that's here for us another time conversation. Next question here. We got Philip Martinez Jr. at Broke Musician 13. What's more likely to happen? And I want everybody's opinion on this. Miami tank for a new quarterback or Tua coming back to try to make the playoffs, but lose the last big game to secure a spot and end up in the middle of the pack yet again with a draft pick of no value in a draft, by the way, that is said to be pretty poor. So what do you guys think? Tua coming back and us making the playoffs or us tanking? Just going to pack it in.
I think it's a third option. Tua coming back, winning just enough games to give us 9 and 8, and then we don't make playoffs. But
Yeah, I
then,
think-
but then we stick with Tua through and through, not draft a quarterback or even go after a good backup because he was injured again, and then we need to give him the benefit of the doubt. So go ahead.
Yeah, I meant to bring that up during the show, so I'm glad he asked. I think I actually read that earlier and was saving it, but
Great minds, Bobby. Great minds.
No, that's the worst fear though. That's going to be our reality.
100%.
Is that there's going to come a point if we keep losing that the tank, hate it or not, the word is our best option, but the pride and people's jobs are not going to allow a tank, and
Yep.
Tua's going to be put back out there, and they're going to win 6 games, and we're going to be in a bad spot.
We're in 9 games, dude.
Yeah, whatever.
There's
I
not
don't
many
know, man.
winnable games on that schedule coming up.
Yeah, it
boys.
gets worse,
It
yeah.
gets rough. It's going to be rough.
That season can go one of two ways, right? We can either catch momentum or we can't. I mean, I don't think there's going to be middle of the road this year. It's a weird year. We catch fire, we make the playoffs, maybe win a playoff game. Let's be real, like maybe if the weather's good,
You
right?
still have that kind of
Um,
hope, huh?
Yeah,
That's-
but I mean, realistically, 5-6 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, the way it's looking right now, let's just all be honest.
You guys are crazy. We're gonna win 9+.
I think Ghost hit the nail on the head. If I had to guess, I would say Tua's
I'm
gonna
just
come
trying to
back.
do another take, Eric. Okay,
I
because that
know.
was the best take. I mean,
Yeah,
that is
it
the
is.
take.
He took
That's
it
the
from us
most
too
dolphin
early.
shit ever. Is middle of the road, 9 and 8, 18th, 19th, 20, 21st.
Oh,
Every year,
brutal.
clockwork.
No, but then the narrative is, oh, we need to give everybody another season because there were injuries. We dealt with more injuries, and you know, Tua came back and he did start winning more games, so we could win games with them. And then McDaniel won games, so it's like Greer comes back too. So that's the nightmare. Is just
I mean,
like,
but boys, respectfully, this roster is not built for a tank.
it's not.
No.
yeah, that's the
It's
issue. It'll
not
be
built. Like
sad.
we're not tanking. Let's all.
We'd have
just
to get
keep
rid
it real.
of. We'd have to get rid of all the big names.
And that's what I said. The pride comes in. Also, a tank basically admits that you more than likely you're firing everyone that's volunteering for the tank. So McDaniel goes, okay, let's tank. And Greer goes, okay. Greer basically is saying, I know I'm getting fired and I support this. No one ever tries to help the next resume. So like, that's the problem. No one's ever going to tank because they're not helping themselves. A new coach coming in will normally be like, yes, sir, let me go get my quarterback. Unless you're Brian Flores, and then you screw yourself and then you get mad about it.
Mhm.
So a new resume will be all for a tank. But a guy,
Is that
the whole
Louisiana for regime?
Yeah, are you saying it like that on purpose?
yeah, I don't care. Anyways, yeah, you're not going to get that. So you're going to get stubborn all the way to the end and you're going to like it. And I agree. The team is too talented to just sit Jalen Ramsey on ice and Tyreek Hill on ice. Like clearly you don't do that.
Can't do it.
No.
Next question.
I
We gotta
agree.
get
Next
next
question. This is a solid one. So, legend of Jake Bailey, who's probably been our best player, although also a stinker last night. Let's be real.
Bad game.
I have a at WPB Fins. I have a son. Do I pass the fandom on to him or let him choose for himself of the other 32 teams when the time comes? That's actually a phenomenal question. I've had this conversation offline before. Bobby, you have kids. You're the only one of us that has kids currently. What are you doing with them?
Yeah, so it's twofold. So one, I sit there sometimes after games, like last night, and I want to call my dad and just cuss him out because he made me a Dolphins fan. But you know, I wouldn't change it for the world. Now I think I live in Louisiana. The Saints have been pretty good throughout my lifetime, but I don't know. I'm currently trying to turn people. I just turned my old lady into a Dolphins fan. Got her turned, unfortunately for her, but nonetheless. So I don't know. I think you just raise your kids. You raise your kids, and if they enjoy sitting there on Sundays watching the Dolphins lose with their old man, then they'll be a Dolphins fan.
Nah,
and if they want to reach,
I'm hardcore, bro.
If they want to reach out and go be a bandwagon guy, they'll be a Chiefs fan or whatever. But yeah, I just think you raise your kids the way you raise them. They're used to what's in the household and the legacy you have, and they end up being Dolphin fans.
I feel like football fans, it's a culture, it's tradition, it's family. Like, you don't have a choice, bro. You're born into it. Like, unless, like, listen, if my kid grows up and he's 16 years old, I hate the Dolphins and I love the 49ers. Like, I'm not gonna disown him. But if you raise your kids right, they should be sticking with you as a
I love it
family.
here. Yeah, I agree.
I agree. Misery loves company. My future children are screwed.
Plus, it's just if like, let's say I live with Ghost. He watches the damn Dolphins every Sunday. You want to be involved. We watch the Dolphins every Sunday. So you're now you're looking at Dolphin shit. You bought a Dolphin shirt today for no reason. Next thing you know, you're a Dolphins fan for 25 years.
Yep.
See, but that's the beauty of it, bro.
Yeah,
my grandfather made me
Gramps.
like, come on, what's better than that?
Yeah,
Yep.
you'll always have that with him. So, all right, this is a really good one, actually. So let me pull that
First,
up.
the mailbag was awesome today.
Yeah, mailbag's fire.
I remember
right now.
going and looking at one point and going, holy shit, okay.
Some
Great work.
bangers.
So
Great
this
work,
one's from XAV at Shut Up Xavier. When Brian Flores was the head coach here, he who must not be named, he clearly forgot the love part of the tough love coaching. Do you think McDaniel has forgotten the tough part of the tough love coaching?
Absolutely.
Basically, has McDaniel gotten too soft on this team, players, team, et cetera, et cetera? Has he gotten too soft on the team?
I think that. I mean, it's clear. This is the most undisciplined team that we have seen in a while. And there seems, I'm using the word seems, to be no accountability. And I'm sorry, Julian Hill, if you're listening. Thank you for listening, though. But I'm sorry if you are. There's no way that Bill Belichick, there's no way that Dan Campbell, there's no way that Kyle Shanahan
Oh no,
would
Shanahan's
allow
an
you
asshole.
would allow you to commit 4 penalties. After the second penalty, you're on the bench for the rest of the game. And you're probably not even going to practice next week. There's no way that you should be allowed to commit 4 penalties in a game and still be played. And I'm sorry, that's just accountability. Look at fucking Antonio Pierce in Raiders Nation. Devontae Adams, get the fuck on the bench. We don't need your bullshit here. Best
I wonder what they're going to get from him.
top 5 wide receiver in the league. We don't need your bullshit.
No,
So, yeah,
instead
I do
McDaniel said,
think
you guys figure it out. I'll let the captains do it.
I do think
Leadership Council, go.
Leadership
think
Council.
there's an
Let's play with.
accountability
Let's
issue.
practice with pads this week.
I
'cause they're soft.
do think there's an accountability issue. You guys go ahead.
No,
I
there
didn't
is
want-
absolutely.
Yeah, I didn't want to believe it. After talking to several players this offseason, they all, had the same thing. Y'all don't see it, but McDaniel ain't afraid to, get on our ass, yada, yada,
Yep.
yada. But after hearing the players ask for padded practice, it's like, that kind of confirms it. It's like, they're
I
asking
think
you
that-
for harder infrastructure. Like, it don't even make sense. So, like, I don't know. It's tough. The problem is, somebody said it earlier too, is like, I've never wanted a coach to be more successful than I have McDaniel. So it's really tough to like be going through this right now and even having these talks. But this is our reality right now. But yeah, things seem off. Things seem off.
And
Again, it's early though, boys. It is
early.
It's the NFL. Shit happens. Guess what? We could turn it around next week and build a momentum train. I mean, does it look like it's going to happen? Absolutely not. But it's the NFL, dude. Anything can happen. Look at Sam Darnold. What the hell's going on with him?
Oh,
Like, what's going
He
on
could
with
have been
him?
our backup for the low, but Skyler's been in the system for 3 years. I lost my train of thought. Anyways, all right, next question. Jesus.
At least you had that banger.
All right, Greasy Bob at Bob Grease Me. Who, if anyone, do you see being dealt at the deadline if this skid continues? I mean, how bad would it have? When's the trade deadline? I can
Week
find it. I
8.
don't know why I'm asking.
Week 8, week 9, yeah.
They extended it.
It's not
I don't
happening.
I don't think anybody, honestly.
No. I think I think they truly feel like they can right the ship. I feel like they
November
really
5th.
think they.
Yeah, and remember this.
Yeah,
You're
go Bobby.
talking about a team who just set on Christian Wilkins for 2 years, knowing they were never going to pay that guy and got nothing for him and let him walk.
Yep.
They're not trading anybody. They think they're going to win something and they're not going to give up anybody.
No, it's like you said too, Bobby. If we start trading people, it's literally Chris Greer just packing up his bags and just see you guys later, which is gonna happen anyways. I think at the end of this year,
Total
regardless.
consensus
But
is at this very moment is we got to get rid of Greer, right?
I'm never
absolutely,
Yeah.
I'm not.
you can't touch another draft.
Until I see it, this guy has had a seat at the table of evaluation since 2000. Greer started his career with the Dolphins as a scout. So since 2000, he had, even if it was just a pinky toe, in the evaluation process of every single player that has come onto this team through the draft process, free agency, college, no matter what it was, he had at least a pinky toe and a seat at the table. Since 2000, for the 24 years, he has been evaluating players for this team. He started as a scout, 2000, and now he's a GM. I don't ever believe he's going to be fired unless Stephen Ross passes away and the new leadership comes in and they want to clean house. I don't think he will ever be fired.
The blackmail that man has on Stephen Ross has got to be top notch.
That's my thought.
And I think another thing at this point, even if he like was hitting and like this has been his best work, but it's also been through trading for proven talent, I don't agree with his philosophy. So like, even if he was like good at doing the things he did, I don't agree the way he builds a team. So it's like, I definitely don't want to move forward with it. So even if he was hitting, it's like, you're still not going to win in January with this philosophy. So like, it doesn't work.
I mean, he's hit, but it's just not it's not the proper roster construction for a team that wants to make a deep run. You just can't ignore them. Like, yeah, we don't have to get into it. Everybody knows our thoughts on the fucking O-line and that could be a debacle. All right, last one, because I think we're out of all good ones. Ed Helinsky, Mr. Ed 315. On a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being the absolute worst, where are the Dolphins right now, Bobby?
What was the question again?
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the absolute worst, where are we right now?
Honestly,
I think he heard the question.
Don't ask me again, goddammit.
Hey, come again?
No, I was trying to make sure I got my mind right,
It's true.
I'd like to say 10 because of our expectations, but it's not a 10 yet. A 10 is when we decide to tank and they make it known and you start seeing people go to IR for no reason. That would be a 10. That could probably happen in like week 7. But we're at a 7, looking at an 8.
Hey, Dustin's cooking tonight.
Yeah, he is. He's been on
He's
absolute
throwing it down.
bangers.
I'm right where you are, Bobby. That's a rookie score. I don't know if you watch Portnoy's pizza reviews, but
Too easy.
Oh yeah.
I'd say I'm at like a 7-8. Like I'm almost to the brink of, like yesterday. I'm pretty sure I texted some of my friends and I was like, I'm not watching football for the rest of the year.
That's
Lord
facts.
knows,
I have that.
Lord
text.
knows I'm lying. Lord knows I'm lying.
He did.
That's facts. That's facts.
But yeah,
Oh,
we're definitely in panic mode. I mean, there's no denying that.
I'm closer to Anthony. I'm at a 6.8, and the only reason why I'm there is because Tua he's coming back in 2 weeks, or I should say 2 more games. If Tua was on IR for the rest of the season, like it's a max 10. Throw these dudes on IR, save them. But Tua is coming back, and like, dude, McDaniel's offense is built for Tua. Like, we will score more than 1 touchdown a game. You know, like we will do that with Tua. And if the defense continues to play at the level that they are and they stay healthy, they're going to win games. So it is high. It's not over. It's almost at a 7 for me. Well, 74 to 10. It's almost at a 7 for me, but I'm not there yet because Tua is coming back. And, you know, we do score points with him. And although, like, you know, Tua doesn't get a free pass in this bullshit either, dude. Like,
no,
listen, shit happens. Players get hurt. But, dude, this team is just hung out to dry every single time that he's not on the field. And this is the 4th out of 5th season in the NFL. I mean, I went back to his college and high school. The last 10 out of 12 seasons that kid has played football, he's missed games due to injury. And, like, it's tough because when your body just fails you, it's tough because it's not your fault, obviously, but, you know, availability is part of the evaluation. But I'm not there yet. I'm at 6.8 because Tua is coming back. The offense is going to look better, even if it's marginally or by, a ton. Doesn't matter. It's going to look better. So I'm not there yet.
And we're not going 16-1, right? Like that's out of the question.
I don't think it's possible.
Okay.
It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I was really banking on that. Banking on that.
Just want to make sure we're on the same page.
I would say I'm at like a 7.5. The only reason I'm not higher is because of the defense. Although we're at a breaking point here because the finger pointing has already started. In Javon's presser last night after the game, he was saying like our job is to play defense, get the ball back to the offense. Like our job's not to score points, and like this is how it starts.
I kind of like that from Jeff though.
Yeah, I mean, but it's still the finger pointing starting. That coupled with the Tyreek tantrum on the sidelines, again warranted. But like this is how these things snowball if you don't get a grasp on them pretty quickly. But we appreciate everybody with the mailbag and the comments. You guys have been great tonight. Any parting thoughts, boys, before we wrap?
We'll be 3-3.
3-3.
Tua can come back for Colts, or he has to come back for Bills?
Cardinals.
Arizona.
Cardinals.
And you know what happened during the Arizona game, baby?
Oh,
the legendary Arizona game.
There it is, baby.
The Arizona game.
Real
Never
quick,
forget.
one topic.
We'll always have the Arizona game.
with
You can
Preston
never take that.
Wilson Williams.
I actually upgraded to the Baltimore game, but y'all do what y'all want.
Nah, nothing touches the Arizona game. There was
Dude, week 1 Baltimore?
so
Yeah,
much
it was
hope in that
week two.
Arizona game.
Week two.
We're like, holy fuck, we have the guy finally. That the Arizona game, the feeling after the Arizona game, man. The hope and just like we did it.
We got a guy.
He was rolling
Not a
out,
guy.
hitting Gesicki. He was freaking out
Juking
there.
Buda Baker, juking
Preston
Buda Baker
Williams.
out of his
Little,
shoe.
little razzle dazzle.
Hey, we had no razzle dazzle last night, Bobby Shouts. You sold us on something that didn't happen. God darn it.
No,
let us be
Jalen Wright
running.
had a little bit of razzle dazzle last night.
Well, it was basically talking about Huntley, but
Yeah.
We know.
Well,
We know.
I was trying to help.
dude, 3rd and 10 QB draws right into the back of Liam is not it.
Love that.
Hey,
play call.
at least Liam was on his feet for that play that one time.
Dude, the amount of times that I saw Liam just straight whiff on a guy,
He's just on the ground, dude.
or
Always.
him, or him and they're it's bad, dude. They're double teaming. They're double teaming an end, and then nobody peels off for the linebacker, and it just eats up.
Linebacker just walks in.
Like, dude, it's like it's so bad. Our guards are so bad.
Not a problem though. We're more concerned. Remember, we were always more concerned.
It really does feel like forever ago since we were scoring like that.
It has been
Well, it was. It's
like
I felt-
to November of last year, because December wasn't good last year either.
Yeah.
I will give all of us very good kudos. As much shit as we talk and as hype as we get, we do hold the boys accountable.
We do.
Yeah, you
We
got
do.
to.
Because, dude, I'm the worst. I know I'm the worst. But at the end of the day, I'm not too proud to say my bad. Hey, it's on me.
But we love you
It's on
for it,
me,
though.
boys.
That's, you know, we love
But
you
I'll
for
never
it.
stop being the fan I am.
The
Just
other way
how I'm
around
built.
too is like sometimes I work, sometimes like looking at some of the stuff we say to each other, I think we do good on this show because it could be a lot worse. It could be, I think we really do a good job of nailing the points, giving credit, calling people out, but not like being dumb. So I'm proud of that.
It's really
Yeah.
hard.
I see some of the stuff that we say in the moment, and I've been worried about HR coming down on us, but we do a pretty good job.
I'm already wearing too many hats. That's why it has to stay in that chat is toxic as all get out. But yeah, HR's got to keep you boys in line. But again, we appreciate everybody, tuning in. We appreciate always the support. Appreciate everybody's questions in the mailbags. Comments have been fired tonight.
Hell yeah.
Another 1,000 live.
Hopefully we can get a dub on Sunday on a short week, and we'll be a lot more positive next Tuesday when God willing, we're all back here doing what we like to do, chopping it up with the boys at the dive bar.
I was so ready to get on tonight after a big dub.
We were hyped.
Harley masterclass. My God.
I was ready to give that jersey away, bro.
Oh, dang.
Maybe run it back for next week if we get a dub.
I gotta have to run that. We're gonna run it back till somebody wins. I gotta give a jersey away at this point.
Wait a minute. Hold the hell
run it
up.
back, dude. I do like the
Where
decision.
the hell is your mustache?
Oh, I shaved it. I was over it.
That's why we lost.
That's why.
No, I shaved it after
this
the
guy.
It's the double reverse. Jeez, you said you wasn't going to shave it till we won. Then you shaved it anyways. The gods listen. The football gods always know.
When
Oh,
wifey
Mrs.
says
Martucci was
shave,
not
when
having
wifey
it
says
anymore.
Shave before bed. You shave before bed, my boy.
That's facts. That's free advice for anybody out there.
Hey, no matter what, we're 1-3, and I'm 3-0 in bed. You feel me? Love you, babe. Sorry.
That's
I
a
didn't
great-
mean
That
I did,
and
but
with
I didn't.
that, I think we're all good. Everybody have a good night, and we'll see you guys next week. Same time, same place. Fins up. Let's do it.
Go, baby.
Canes, baby.